we are getting ready to do something very, very powerful. One of the things I want you to be aware of is you can manifest money. I'm going to walk you through the whole procedure and the things that you need to do so you can manifest money. Number one, you need to have an ideal. With my more extensive program, I get on the phone and I talk to people, and people have no clue, no concept, no ideal of the things that they need to do to get money. Now, I'm gonna shame the internet hustlers. Internet hustlers have people thinking that they don't have to do anything to help people get money. It's like I haven't subscribed, so I don't know what they're talking about, but let me go ahead and kind of walk you through the process of two sides of my life. The first side, I was in the military and I started business after business after business, 5 businesses to be factual, and they all failed because I didn't understand how to put together a process that creates money. Because this is why I put in my video why you should never start a business for money. Because when you start a business for money, you're looking at the money, you're calculating the money, you're talking to the money, you're doing all these things right here for the money. You want to start a business, you want to set up a holding company, an operating company, you want to get yourself some business credit, you want to learn how to run a business, you want to start your first online business. If you want to do that, and congratulations to you for being a person that wants more out of life, for being that person that's ready to sit down, do the work so your future can be brighter. I got something for you. Go below and enter into the Corporate Citizen Playbook, where we teach you all of that plus a lot more. Because you are not a normal, regular person. You want more out of life. You want to do more, you want to be more, you want to have more. And congratulations to you. So this link is below. Go ahead and check out this video, and then go ahead and enroll in the Corporate Citizen Playbook, where I teach you some things that you cannot Google. Can't Google it. Can't Google it at all. And you're not building anything that serves humanity well. With the whole process of me starting those businesses, not making any money, losing money on one business, I pretty much lost $3,500. And this was back in the day when $3,500 was like 3 months' paycheck. One of the things that you need to understand first, this is very, very important. You need to get your money straight before you start your business. I'm going to explain to you why this is very, very pronounced and why this is very, very provocative. Years and years ago, I was in a storage auction business, and I had the privilege and the pleasure to go through people's records. And I came across this guy who owned a restaurant. The restaurant was making plenty of money, but he had a Mercedes, his wife had a Mercedes, his mistress had a Mercedes, and none of these cars were paid for. So even though he had a restaurant that was making money, because he was spending money like a crackhead, he went under. He really went under. So the first thing you have to do is get your personal spending under control before you start a business. This is really, really important. There should be something scrolling across about a new program I have, which will ultimately lead you to set up your mega bank. So be sure to check that out. Now, one of the things that you have to do and you have to understand is personal spending is a choice. And I'm going to go ahead and give you reference points because, when I first came to YouTube, 2009, my first year I made $62,000. My second year I made $92,000. My third year I made $1.6 million. But here's the thing. That year that I made $1.6 million, I did not change my personal spend for about 2 years. And the 1.6 million came in, and then my income went down. But my income did not go down to what it was before the 1.6 million. So I was able to gauge and set myself up on a spending standard that fit my budget and did not deplete my budget. All right. And these are the things I'm going to teach you and I'm going to tell you that you need to have to manifest money. Number one, get your personal spending under control. Number two, have physical cash in your wallet. Number three, have physical cash in your bank account. Number four, have credit cards with nothing on it. Now, why do I tell you this? Money to me is energy and it's spiritual. And if you set yourself up where you can attract money, it's going to be much better than, like, I want you to think, when was the last time you were broke? And you were broke, then you got paid, then all your money left again. You borrowed money, then you got paid, then you were instantly broke again. Being broke is a habit that comes from behaviors and methodologies, behaviors and habits. So it's really hard to acquire money when you're broke. It's really, really hard. So what you want to do is go ahead, and this works at any income level. I don't want to hear, well, I live in California and I live in New York. I don't even want to hear that, because regardless of where you live, you can properly set up your money and properly set up your finances where you are financially solvent, which means that you have more money coming in than your bills require. So there's an excess. There's a woman here on YouTube, her name of Christy Van. Her YouTube channel is Fantastic Finances. And she will do what I call revenue projections of people, and they always have excess cash. There's no one who's in this situation where they're completely broke, where all of their money's going to bills. They always have excess cash. There's a few people who are in that cycle where they have negative cash flow, and these are very hard to work with clients in her business. So one of the things that you have to do and understand is that spend and the control and the management of your money. So once you get that out, and this is what the velocity banking and the course that I got set up will help you do, get to that point where you are financially whole before you start your business. And this is a lesson that I learned when I got out the military. I was out the military, then I went through a lot of personal hardships and financial crisis. And then I went through this process where I had a job, then I had another job, then I had another job. Then I became 100% commission salesperson. And this environment, number one, I already had money. Number two, I didn't owe any money. This is one of the things that I did when I started to see some real money. My first big commission check for $68,000, I went out and bought a brand new BMW. So I was driving a brand new, and I'm gonna tell you why I went ahead and did that. When I joined business environments, all of the salespeople had really nice cars. They had, one guy had the Acura NSX, the Acura Sports. Another guy had the BMW. Another guy had the Range Rover. They all had really nice cars. So when I got my money, what did I do? I go out and got myself a very nice car. And here's where it was. Now, when I got that car, I had about maybe $30,000, $40,000 in the bank on top of what I made with my commission check. And then because I was learning and I was getting really, really good at selling stuff, it only took me about 4 months to actually get ahead from my financial situation because I was no longer broke. I wasn't broke when I was working there, but my finances got better and better and better. And when you have money in the bank, when you're financially whole, it makes it easy for you to sell people stuff because it's not at the top of your head that I gotta sell this because I need money. It's like, what can I do for the customer? What can I put together for the customer? What can I create for the customer? Once again, the steps to manifesting money. Number one, you want to go ahead, get your personal finances together, have money physically on you, have money in your checking account, have credit cards that are free and clear. And this creates the beginning points where you can go ahead and start manifesting money. Because here's the thing, once you start that business under these conditions, number one, you don't have personal lack. You're not in a situation where you're broke. I know everyone loves the story on YouTube. 2 years ago, I was broke, I was in debt, then I did this magical gee whiz thing, and now I'm all this. No, that's just not going to work for the average person. So once you go ahead and fix these things and then start a business from this perspective, the business has the ability, because number one, what do we do here at Personal Capital? We recommend that you keep your job. Then you go ahead and improve your finances. And then we recommend that the first year you take no money out of your business. Now, why is that really important? Let's go ahead and walk through this. Number one, you've solved your personal finance problems before you started your business. Number two, you started your business and you were able to go ahead and develop the mental power to resist spending that money. So now you've got your job, you're taking care of your personal bills and stuff. Now you have this business over here that has a bank account that's growing. Another important thing, for you to see a situation where you have a bank account that you own and you control and actually see money grow in your bank account over time. That's really, really a strong learning process, because number one, you learn that you can make money, you learn that you don't have to spend money, you learn how to manage money. And this is so a powerful movement for your future that it will literally blow your mind, because this is something that I went through. And once I got to that point where I could have 100,000 or 200,000 or 300,000 in the bank, it became life-changing, because I'm here to tell you, I've never had a business that required me to spend. I will talk about that one business. I've never had a successful business that required me to spend 100 or 2 or 300,000. But let me go ahead and tell you about the failed business I had. I had a business called Mac Daddy Autos. I was renting cars on Hire Car, and I spent $400,000 buying 31 cars to put on the rental platform. Now, fortunately, I was in a position where I had high cash flow, and I was able to do this out of my cash flow. I didn't have to do any loans, I didn't have to borrow any money. Now, here's where the story gets really bad. The car rental business, from my personal perspective, is terrible. And I was using a platform called Hire Car. And that's part of the problem. The Hire Car recently filed bankruptcy, and I'm going to explain to you why. And listen to me here. All right. One of the things that I feel from a financial standpoint is, if you are low or moderate income, you should not have a car payment. You should have a car that you could pay $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 and drive it and not have a car payment. So if you're financially in trouble and then you go out and rent a car, this is just going to make your financial problems worse. And this is one of the reasons that Hire Car was starting to have a lot of issues, and why Hire Car had to file bankruptcy, because the customer base of Hire Car were people with bad credit, low incomes, and renting very expensive cars. I remember some of my most expensive cars were pulling in about $1,600 a month, and this was the Range Rovers, the Porsche. Oh yeah, I really did. I bought multiple BMWs, I had Porsches, I had Range Rovers, I had Mercedes, had a lot of nice cars, and these people messed up my cars. Oh my God. At one point, I had 31 cars, right? At one point, I had 12 cars that were wrecked out of the 31. And it took me 2 to 6 months to get my cars fixed. And this is one of the reasons I had a phone that was for the car rental business, and I grew to hate that phone, because every time it rung, someone was having a problem. And this is the thing, when you're dealing with economically challenged people, they really don't want to be the type of people to fix flat tires and stuff like that. So every time the phone rang, it was something bad. Like, yeah, I rented the car from you, now I have a flat. When are you gonna fix it? I'm like, when you rented the car, did the car have a flat? No. Which means that you ran over something. They didn't want to take responsibility. They didn't want to take accountability. They did not want to do the things that they needed to do to go ahead and set themselves up on a more durable pattern. So with the car rental business, this was the most expensive money that I spent for the business, and it was hands down the worst business that I've ever started. And not only on 1 year of taxes, but it provided negative prospects for 2 years of tax returns. Thank God that's over, because next year I can file a clean tax return without a bunch of heavy, massive losses. Once again, you should learn. And like I learned, because once again, I made this bad business decision. And because I was in a business that was providing very high cash flow, I was able to get around that and continue on with my life. But I tell you all this stuff to tell you the foundational position, and this is what we're going to be talking about in this, the thing that's going to get in this course. It doesn't require a phone call. You can get in the course, and in the future, right now we're having a sale. In the future, there's going to be a payment plan, so you can get in and start organizing and getting your finances together and learn how to do mega banking. Links below. So that's all I got for you guys. I'll talk to you in the next one.